Well, good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? My name is Sinazo, as mentioned, and I am a young black female entrepreneur and also someone working in the media and communication space in South Africa. And today I'm going to be speaking about your brand awareness, and also positioning of your brand. A lot of you are SMMEs, so you don't really have a lot of money really to advertise your company and really place it at the level of corporates. So we're going to be looking at practical ways of getting your brand out there with people knowing who you are, what you do, through cheap or free methods through digital media and community media. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do as Global Borders. We're a PR and communications company. We focus on corporate events and also brand awareness and brand management. So it's ironic, actually, that I'm speaking about looking at digital media, because we're hosting a similar seminar where we're talking about how do you, as a SMME and someone who's an entrepreneur, really take your brand to the next level through digital media. So let's look at some practical ways. Going digital. The space of the internet is big. In South Africa, we've got 5.5 million people in the digital space. These are people who actually have access to the internet, and that means it's a huge market on its own. Corporates have started spending millions of rands in developing departments that are just looking after their social media, their websites. But we understand that as SMMEs, you probably don't have the same capacity financially to look after yourselves in terms of building a department that's just focusing on digital media and your websites. So how do we as SMMEs get into that space without really breaking the bank? Now, we need to start creating awareness on the web, right? And a website is the best way of actually starting that off. You need to create a website, right, that gives information about who you are as a company. You need to actually make it accessible. You need to make it interactive, where people can actually ask you questions and also contact you as an SMME. You need to actually make it modern, up-to-date, constantly updating what your company is about, what your company is doing. People want to know about your company, but it's difficult for people to actually go to where your location is sometimes. So the internet, or rather your website, is a great way to have an office without actually having a physical office. So people spend millions on developing their digital strategies, but websites cost tens of thousands of rands. SMMEs don't have that. You don't actually have to pay for a website. There are platforms where you can create a website for free. You've got Wix, Yola, WordPress is one of the most popular ones, and also you've got Wimbley. These platforms actually give you templates where you can choose what you want your website to look like without having to hire a web designer or web developer. So it's actually free. But I know also that NYDA and also CEDA give you the opportunity to actually apply for vouchers where you can get people to design your website. So you can also look into those opportunities. There are government opportunities where you can actually access them. But of course, if you can't and you need a website at the moment, there are free sites where you can develop your own website. Let's look at social media and marketing and how that plays a role in your company. How do you grow your company? Using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Social media is all about content generation. You need to generate content to make sure that you're constantly abreast with whatever's happening, but also feeding content to your target market or potential market. It's all about being innovative. It's about being authentic to who you are as a brand. Don't try to compete with the big dogs. They've got money. Don't try to compete with the big dogs. You need to know who you are and who you're speaking to. SMMEs speak to their immediate communities. They're there to service them. But obviously, you're going to grow as you go. But at the moment where you are, you need to look at where you are, what you're trying to achieve, and who you're talking to at that moment. And that's how you start generating your content. It's a strategy. Digital marketing and social marketing is a strategy. The same way you build your business proposal is the same way you need to actually strategize on what you're trying to say, who you're trying to say it to. Instead of just, as things happen, you take a picture and you post it up. That's not how it happens. I work at Bay TV, and I started working at Bay TV last year, actually. And there were 3.5, there were 3,500 followers or likes when we took over the department. And our mandate also in terms of social media, there wasn't a department that dealt with social media. We wanted to get the numbers to 10,000. And we wanted to do it last year. We're like, you know what, we're going to do it. But we had to come up with a practical way to get those numbers up. So we had to strategize. We actually strategized, I think, for a month on how we were going to implement that. We had to first look at who we're trying to target. Who is our target market, and who's currently watching Bay TV, and who we wanted to watch Bay TV. So we had to look, our viewership at that moment was very much based with Township, right? And we wanted the youth to start watching us. There's a lot of church. So we wanted to create content that was speaking to young people. We wanted to start looking at getting into universities. So our content needed to start speaking to the people we're trying to reach. So we ran a competition. We wanted people to share firstly. We wanted people to interact, and we wanted people to talk. And we were able to do all of that through a campaign that we ran. And in 3 months, we got to 7.5 thousand likes on our Facebook page. But right now, we're sitting at close to 10,000, which it took longer than we hoped, but we got there. But because we understood what we're trying to do. So social media is strategic. It's like any other marketing plan. So as a company, you can actually also start thinking and being strategic about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to say on social media. There's a lot of different things that are happening now in that space. Video is becoming big. Everyone, if you go on Facebook, there's live now. You can go live. I know YouTube did it first. Facebook took it to another level. Instagram has it now. Everyone wants to see reaction. Everyone wants to see interaction. Everyone wants to see how you move your face. It makes it more personal. So when you are an SMME, we have to remember that as SMME, we're more personal with our customers. We know our customers. We know, Umama, George, who's living in Missionville. We know them personally. We've got that personal touch with our clients. Unlike, having a CEO of a big corporate who only deals with his management level, where they don't really go down. So you really need to speak directly to Umama George, who lives in Missionville. So videos allow you really to interact and for people to hear firsthand from you how I perceive you and how our company is doing and how you, as my client, are assisting us and how we are assisting you. Also vice versa. Clients get to tell you, what your business is doing for them. So that's also something we need to look at. We need to look at also there's an app called Hootsuite. So what it does, it actually schedules your posts. I said that it's a marketing strategy. Posting and promoting on Facebook and marketing is a strategy. So such apps help you actually plan and schedule your posts. So these are free ways you can actually start promoting and start engaging with your clients and really start letting people know what your product or service is all about. You need to be able to sell the product. You need to be able to communicate your product. It's not just about posting, but it's making it an experience online. Okay, So I said that it's all about it's all about generating, content. Social media is content generation. So it's generating unique stories, unique campaigns, something that will catch the eye or catch the attention of your potential client or the people who are already following you. So believe, you need to let your company speak to the client. You need to understand what it is that you're selling. So talk, directly to them. You need to find your niche. What is different about you? Remember, you're not competing with big dogs, but you are competing. So it's understanding what it is that you're doing. Social media can assist you. It's cheap and it can be free. But there's also paid advertising, right? I know Facebook is not that expensive. You can put like 260 a week where, you can get your post to really be up there. So, there's those options where you can use promoting of your posts to get more people talking about it. But it's all about content. It's all about what you are saying. Okay, so I told you that I also work in the community media space. I've worked with KQ. I've worked also with Madiba's Radio. I work with Bay FM as well. And I'm also in television, and I work with Bay TV, of course. And I've also worked in print. So I understand a bit of the space and what it can do for SMMEs. I'm going to focus a lot on Bay TV, because obviously that's where I am, but I've also done a lot of work with radio. Bay TV is a great platform for SMMEs, especially if you're from the Eastern Cape. We cover the whole Eastern Cape, but we offer packages that can assist you. But something I need to actually say, you don't actually need to pay for advertising sometimes. You just need to be smart about what you give them. You can actually run awareness campaigns. That's a nice way to get your company on radio, to get your company on television, or to even get someone to write an article about you on papers. So you need to be smart about how you utilize community media. These people speak directly to the people on the ground. Actually, they're more personal with their communities. So depending on really what you're trying to say and who you're trying to say it to, I think we're missing a lot from community media. I said we've got 5.5 million people on digital media. What happens to the 40 million plus people? They're consuming traditional media. We have to understand the context of South Africa. The context of South Africa is that we've got rural areas and townships. And a lot of those people don't have access to some of the resources that us in the metros and in more urbanized areas have. So their way of receiving information is through radio mostly, but also free television. Community channels such as Bay TV, are free. Radio is free, and a lot of these people want to hear their own stories, so they're usually listening to their own community radio stations. And a lot of the stories of SMMEs are from the people of their own communities. So where's the best place to talk about your business? Especially if your market is the people that we spoke about, which is your townships and rural areas. And a lot of politicians, are listening to radio because they need to know what's happening. So you've got quite a huge market in traditional media. So you need to know how to utilize it. You can't afford, your major national media. So the next best bet is your community media. Let's look at how they can assist you grow your business and get your name out there. Okay, so these are just stats of showing you in terms of digital media. Not a lot of people actually, now, kind of contradicting myself. No, I'm going somewhere. Not a lot of people have access to it. Obviously, urban areas they have. That's free digital, that's free advertising. But now we're talking about traditional media. There's still a lot and a huge market in this space, but people can't afford, your big national stations. So we're saying, as community media, we're here for you. We want to assist you, and let us assist you. But it's all about you coming to us and us coming to you. So okay, that's not the end. But so this is what we're doing as Bay TV for you as SMMEs, because we were invited to this space. We're going to run a competition for an SMME to win an hour profile of their companies and what they do. So this is how we're going to run the competition. We've got a show called ITS, which is more of a business show. I think it's the one that's shooting this event as well. That's going to be televised on Bay TV. What we're going to do is we're going to give you an opportunity to enter a competition, and it's via a video. You shoot I think it's a 30-second video, like it's like an advert, telling us about your company. And you use the hashtag SMME BayTV260. That is hashtag SMME BayTV260. And BayTV will actually give you an hour special to profile your company, tell us about your company, and really walk us through your company. And that is the end of my presentation.